welcome to Herbal Medicine Secrets. Today I'm with Ivo Ahlquist, who's a local chiropractor at Moruya Chiro and Wellness. So Ivo and I are colleagues, we've worked together a lot, but we're here because Ivo is using the No Dig garden to have his herbal medicines. So Ivo, is this what you're going to be using?
Absolutely. That was the aim at least. Tell me more about it.
Okay, well tell me, first of all, with the No Dig garden, we have a specific base that we use that helps suppress weeds, because I notice you've got a lot of weeds in here.
Oh yes.
Okay, and some weeds are really valuable, but some of them compete for space with the actual herbs. So tell me what you've got in here. It looks like you've got soil in here, is that right?
Some kind of, my wife organized it. It's some kind of veggie patch soil premix.
Okay. What's it got underneath it? What's the base?
Dirt?
Okay, okay. So here at South Coast, New South Wales, far south coast, near Moruya, it's a temperate climate. It's going to rain today, so that'll be handy. And we need to make sure we keep the nutrition up, especially at times when you've had a lot of rain, because it can leak through quite quickly. So what I would suggest is, Christopher and I are gifting you the No Dig Herbal Medicine Garden course, because Ivo here has been so helpful to me when I was crushed up and beaten up and broken up, and I just really want to thank him for that. So Ivo, what I would suggest is that you dig this out. I'm sorry, unless you want to keep having all these weeds, because a lot of the nutrition would have gone down to the earth because we had all this rain. Okay, dig it out, put it in your wheelbarrow because you'll be using it. And then when you get the No Dig garden course, it's got everything you need in it. You've already got this, so you don't need to do that. And it shows you what to use to suppress the weeds, but also feed the vegetables. You can grow your food in it. You can do it with all your No Dig gardens. How does that sound?
Excellent.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Okay. So what particular herbs did you want to have in here?
Well, probably the main ones we use for cooking, like what they have for cooking: rosemary, basil. What else? We have thyme.
Okay.
Some basic ones, start with those ones off, but I'm open for suggestions.
Okay. Well, I think given Ivo is living here with his wife Mayomi and Mila, who's 10 months.
Yep.
10 months old now. Mila's actually the boss here, so don't tell anyone that. But there's a herb that I think that you will really enjoy having here called catmint, Nepeta cateria. So you've got a dog who loves to dig up your veggie garden. You haven't got a cat. Cats love it. They lie in it and they roll in it. But why it's so good, especially for children, is a mild weak tea of it's very settling for children, especially at night. So your drug of choice, basically. So I think it'd be lovely to have some catmint in here as well, because it's a valuable herbal medicine, and it's really attractive. It's got lovely flowers and doesn't take over like a lot of the mint does. It tends to stay in its own little spot. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
I would also put some sage, Salvia officinalis, which is the plant that we use for medicine, because it's so good as a culinary herb, but it also has a lot of uses in medicine, so it'll be handy to have as a first aid plant. Now, in the Herbal Medicine Secrets Foundation course, we actually go through sage is one of the herbs that we take a deeper dive into, and how to use it at your home remedy section. So I think it'd be nice to have a bit of turmeric in here. You use turmeric?
Sounds like a great idea. Absolutely. Most days.
Now we've got some turmeric rhizome, and we might be able to spare you a bit of the rhizome to plant in here. As a practitioner, you know that the role of inflammation in disease is very important, and Ivo, you're an athlete as well, so you know that you've got to keep your inflammation down as much as you can, and turmeric's really good for that. So what else do you think you use? Do you use thyme? What else do you use?
Basil, rosemary. What else do we have? Parsley.
Okay.
Just to name a few.
Okay. Okay. So it'd be good to put the parsley around the outside.
Okay.
Okay. Rosemary is an incredibly versatile herbal medicine. So you've got it it's lovely to have as a tea, the flowers or the leaves. And it's also a wonderful medicinal plant that we go through in the Herbal Medicine Secrets Foundations course. It's a really quite a potent liver clearance herb and a circulatory stimulant for the brain as well. So it's really great. So it's lovely to have with its purple flowers. So the thing you've got to make sure you don't overplant this. So I'd maybe put a few parsley here on each side and a little bits of thyme, you know, maybe 1 or 2 thyme plants, and it'll grow over the fence.
Okay.
Or the
border.
Call it the border. And the sage is quite a compact plant, and it'll grow to about that high, about that round. And that's a good one to have maybe in a corner. And you wouldn't want to put comfrey in here because it'll take over the whole patch. You might like to put that in one of the other ones. Every garden needs comfrey. That's another plant we go into. Now, we were talking about a weed you've got here before. Would you like to pick a few leaves of it?
Absolutely, no problem.
So, Ivo's got some, what most people say, I've got to pull that out, it's a weed. It's actually ribwort, Plantago lanceolata, and it's one of the most valuable remedies that I have in my clinic. So I want people to start to think about weeds a little bit differently, because you can actually make a weak tea from these 2 leaves when you've got all the builder's dust off it. And it's a really good tea for simple conjunctivitis. Actually, as an eye bath, as a weak tea. But I use it a lot. I make fresh plant tincture, and I go through this in the Herbal Medicine Foundation course, how to make a fresh plant tincture so that you can also use it for upper respiratory tract infections and so on. So even though it's a weed and you don't want it there, it still has its value.
Learning every day.
So yes, you get your knuckles wrapped. So let's get stuck into it, and we'll report back to you all later on the results. Thanks, Ivo.
My pleasure.